Right, welcome to this Battlefield terrain tutorial. We've got another table set up for you here. The plan is to run through this with you step by step. We'll guide you through the whole process so that you can set up a table just like this for your own games of Warhammer 40,000. So as per usual, I'll leave as many links as I can in the video description below. This one's quite doable. There are some processes involved with the terrain, but thankfully I can outsource you to some tutorials that are already on the channel for that. And I'll point out the different elements that make up this board. So the foundational part of the table, we are a big fan of the battle mats here on the channel. They just give you a colour scheme straight away. They roll out dead flat, which I've always liked about them. If you can find a nice flat playing surface such as a good solid table, you can then roll out the mat. It will sit dead flat for you. It rolls up when you're finished. The mats come with carry cases or with a carry case as well, so you can store them away safely and protect them, and also with straps on them so you can transport them around, take them around your friend's house or to local club. And so on. If you look after your mats, they can last for years and years. We've got mats on the channel that have been used for a decade and they're still looking good. So this particular mat with the desert theme is called Sands of Time. It's from Gamemat.eu. I'll leave a link for it in the video description below. This one is 60 by 44 inches in size, so it's the correct size for regular games of 10th edition. It's made from this mouse mat material, so it's black on that side. Printed design here. Very figure friendly. If models fall over, they're not going to get damaged. Nice and quiet as well for the dice rolling. You can get this mat in different sizes, but thankfully we have the 60 by 44, which is correct, so I don't need to add any boundaries on the edge here for this board. For battle mats, I'll leave a link below for this mat. Also use the discount code. It's 11% off across the store for all of your mats and terrain. And Gamemat.eu are shipping worldwide. Once the mat is in place, we're then going to try and build up the terrain. So it's shared here on this board. A good chunk of this board is made up of the industrial terrain set from Gamemat.eu. So you get 4 of these, and I thought it would look quite good is to join all 4 of them together to make like a big grid, a big block of terrain across here to give that real industrial kind of look. So you get 4 of them, but these all are separate, they're independent pieces. You get a set of the pipes. They come with 3s, but I've stacked them up to make a big stack of pipes. You get 4 of the containers. There's one over here, these large containers. So 4 of those. I've colour corrected and changed them to go for Desert Industrial. We'll talk about colour schemes in just a moment. You get that large piece of terrain, that large piece across there as part of that terrain set. There's also boxes and barrels, which aren't on the board here, but you get a dozen of those in the set as well. So it's a big enough set, it will easily fill half of a board for you. With terrain, the advantage of it is pre-painted, pre-made. You just unpack it and then use it straight away. And then it comes as sort of a standard grey-brown colour scheme. And then I've added some extra effects, changed the colours around, which is very, very easy to do. And I've created a tutorial for you on the channel so you can follow that process. If I go in a bit closer, so you can see this chipping effect across here. That's all done using sponge. There's some washes applied and some rust effect. If I point it out on this, it's the same process on this terrain here. That's dirty down rust, it's called. You buy it as a pot. It gives you some brilliant rust effects for your containers and metallics and so on. That's all in that tutorial. It should be in the video description below. That'll guide you through the process. It's surprisingly quick and effective, and I think well worth doing because you can change the theme of the terrain to really match in with whichever colour scheme you've gone for with your battle mat. So that industrial terrain set, again, I'll leave a link for that in the video description below. It fills out half of the board. They also do a single piece of terrain called the warp portal, which I've done similar effects with across here. It's a great feature to have on the board. So that comes as a single piece, it's optional, but it can just a nice bit to add to the table. And then finally, it's one of the Necromunda terrain sets from Games Workshop. I love all the stairs and the walkways on this. It's pretty much been sprayed silver and then just the dirty down rust used to create all of these effects that you see across here. Not lots and lots of painting. It's a quick process, quick effects, which I think look really nice on the board. It just gives that real rusty, abandoned industrial kind of theme. Abandoned or maybe continuing use, but it's like aged look on this table. So with the Gamemat.eu terrain, some Games Workshop terrain running across here, we've filled up this table quite well. Next up is finishing touches. So as I'll mention a lichen here, it's like a washed out browny green colour. You get bags of it on eBay, model railway shops and so on. Just a great filler for boards, just tucking in clumps of it just around the edges, just to create the impression it's kind of a half abandoned industrial complex. And then finishing touch with these stones as well, which I've got. These are stones from the beach. I then sprayed them up with the same spray paints, like brown, sandy colour, yellows. I use those sprays on the terrain. I use the same sprays on the stones. So you've got the exact colour match going on. They're just put in little piles, just to break up the gap between the terrain and the flat nature of the battle mats. Nice finishing touch, so easily done. Just adds a nice bit of realism to your board. Then after that, it's accessories, and there's a fair few of them on the table. First up, one of my favourites, walkways. These are scratch built, looking like so. All the materials I got off eBay. So you've got terrain piece, put a walkway, all of a sudden you can join the terrain together. Same across there. Same here, where models might struggle to balance on top. Just put a span of a walkway across, and you've got a nice flat platform for your models to stand on. You can make square ones as well, different shapes. Nice square one on top of here. All of a sudden we've got a nice platform on top that we can put models on top there as well. I'll leave a link for you below, in the video description below, for the walkways. Scratch built, a bit of skill involved, but you can make a batch of like a dozen of them. Once you have them, you can use them for any terrain setup, and they're very, very useful to have on the board. Then using the same process and same materials, you can create propaganda posters like this one. Same materials. And again, once you've made them, you can just use them across all different terrain setups. And again, using the same process and same materials, you can create these perimeter fences across here. So check out that tutorial, it'll guide you through the accessories. Other accessories on the board, there's a few AdMech terrain pieces here from Games Workshop, pipes from Games Workshop, these barricades are from Games Workshop, the barrels are from Games Workshop as well. So that all helps to, like little areas like this, just a dump of barrels across here. You're trying to create nice immersive themes as you're playing your game. Your armies look really at home on the board, and you're creating a bit of narrative. You can imagine two factions fighting for this industrial complex out in the desert. You can imagine Thousand Suns operating out here, fighting against Talon Desert Raiders. Would look incredible across this board. So you're just building a bit of narrative, nice theme for your table and your armies. So I think that's about it for this board. Some people ask, how long does this take to pack away? I just pick out the large pieces of terrain, pack them all up, and then put away all the accessories, pick out the lichen, put it back in the bag. All you're left with is the stones. Pick up the four corners of the board, and then just all the stones go into the middle, scoop them up, bag them up. It takes about 10 minutes to pack up. So quite straightforward just to do. Terrain really is worth the effort. So we've got a good variety of these videos on the channel. Pick a theme that you like, and each of those videos will guide you through the materials that you need and the processes involved. And if you yet to take the plunge into terrain, it's very, very rewarding. There are some very fast processes involved, and you can have spend the effort on your armies, get them looking good, but if they can fight across nice looking terrain, it just is a massive enhancement to your hobby. So links in the video description below, and as per usual, we'll fade out with some music here just to capture the flavour of this desert industrial board. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time.